welcome to Living Like Vacation, a show where we live our best life and find others doing the same. I'm Joe.
And I'm Gary.
And today we have DJ Kaoss from 101.9 KISS FM.
What's happening?
Today we're going to learn about music and entertainment and how that affects a vacation. And we're also going to learn a little bit about Kaoss. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Today we're podcasting from the Curtis Media Group, home of 101.9 KISS FM. Check out the website at 1019online.com.
That's right.
And don't forget to add me the #1 station in the ENC.
That's right, KISS FM. First of all, we got to lay down some ground rules like we always do. And I wanted to kind of bring this up. So, Kaoss, you work in the club business.
Yes, I do.
Have you ever walked into a bar, maybe at the beach, and been a little disappointed with the vibe?
Okay. Yes and no. The reason why I say that is whenever I do go into a bar or a club, I'm not really enjoying myself because I'm looking at the sound, the lights. I'm listening to the transition of the DJ. So I'm not engaging the way everybody else is. You know, first I'm observing. So that's what I'm saying. If I just went there as like a regular patron, then yes, I would really have a nice time and I would enjoy the vibe. But I'm always critiquing and I'm always trying to, take notes. Oh, maybe I'll add this, or maybe they shouldn't do that. So, that's how I'm always. Anytime I'm in a nightlife environment and it's music, I'm not really enjoying myself. I'm observing.
So no critiquing today.
No critiquing.
No,
do
you're
not
on
critique
vacation.
this show.
This is your vacation interview.
Vacation
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
I will tell you that I have personally been in a bar or in a situation like that, and the vibe has been off. Like, I'm like, man, what's going on with this place? Like, sometimes I'll go into like a kind of a cool like restaurant or whatever, and y'all know I don't like country music. And they're playing country music in there. I'm like, what's up with this vibe?
Yeah.
Today though, we want a positive vibe. We want to keep it cool. So we want to keep it like we're living like vacation. So I will introduce our guest. It's DJ Kaoss, and Kaoss, we've known each other for a long time, been friends for a long time.
Long time.
I've been super excited about doing this because I think that between us, we know a lot of things and we've talked a lot of knowledge back in these rooms.
Yes.
So to be able to share that with you, I think will be really cool.
How long?
Decades.
Decades.
And we've both grown,
Pretty
so we've watched each other grow into who we are today.
Wow.
And it's I'm proud of Joe.
Oh,
I'm proud
same.
of everything he's been able to accomplish.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
That's excellent. Well, let me get started if you don't mind. I think the #1 question that which came to my mind was, where did the name DJ Kaoss come from?
Okay, well, my dad was in the military, so I had a chance to DJ outside of the United States.
Oh.
And at the time of learning how to be a DJ, because when I was growing up, there wasn't YouTube channels. I didn't have a mentor to teach me. So I spent countless months in my room DJing if I was not in school. It was a DJ battle one year in Japan. I entered, but I didn't have a DJ name. And I was one of the guys that was the judge, who was a well-renowned DJ, actually gave me the name.
Oh, really?
But he gave it, yeah. And it was, at first it wasn't really so much Kaoss. It was something else, but it had Kaoss into it. And when I won it, he was like, this guy was amazing on the turntables, Total Kaoss. And then he was like, you know what, this is going to be your name, young man. I'll never forget. He gave me the name Kaoss.
That's cool.
And I've had it ever since. So it wasn't on me. I didn't come up with the name.
Oh, wow. Is that also how you ended up in Jacksonville area?
My dad, ended up getting stationed. Now, meanwhile, in Japan once, I did go on to I was great over there, man. I'm not going to lie. I was the man over there. So graduating high school, my dad did 3 tours over there. So it was like 9 plus 10 years. So I had my own place in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
When he tells me we're going back to the States, I'm thinking in my mind, okay, I'm going to come visit. But because I went over there with the Department of Defense, I had to leave with them.
Oh.
So I had to come in here.
Never leave a man behind.
Yeah. I tried to marry a Japanese. My girlfriend was Japanese. I tried to marry her and everything to stay over there, man.
You want to go back, don't you?
Yeah. Imagine, man. I mean, I had my own place. I graduated at 16. I had my own place at 16.
Oh wow.
You know, I mean, so like to snatch me away from that, I was sick for a while. Coming back here, and then when I came, this is my first time ever in North Carolina. Nobody knew me, so I had to start all over. You know, nobody knew who I was here, and that was, I mean, with life it's a struggle. But as long as you have, you know, you put your mind to it and you work hard at it, you know.
Well, Eastern North Carolina is a better place because you did come back. So
that's right. That's right. And like we said earlier, we've known each other for a long time, and we have sort of watched each other grow in our fields of work. So, you know, how would you say you got started as a DJ, and kind of explain how you've progressed? Because, I mean, for those out there, this is the biggest DJ east of Raleigh. I mean, I would say that on the eastern part of the state, you have clubs that you DJ, events, concerts, big artists that you intro. So how did you get going? Like, where did that come from?
Now, remember, I started in high school. I never had any aspirations of being on the radio. This came once I got back here. I never thought I would be it wasn't even a thought to me to say I want to be one of the biggest DJs around. It was just the drive that I had because I had the passion for music. It wasn't about the money at the time. It was just I love the way, you know, my uncle is a DJ in DC. Watching him when I was growing up and how everybody flocked to him like he was, you know, a king, you know. If that really turned me on. So that's really what made me want to start being a DJ. But it was now me and how I am. Once I grab something or gravitate to something, then I'm gonna do my best. And that is, as time goes on. Now I'm here in North Carolina. I got to deal with such and such and this DJ and this DJ. Oh, we don't know you. Once I fought past that and I started making a name for myself here. The doors just pretty much started opening here and there. Then I started doing concerts and comedy shows, which is how I ended up being on the radio. Okay, this is one of the PDs at another station that I was on before.
What's a PD?
Program director.
Okay.
He was actually doing a live broadcast at a comedy show. He liked the way I was talking to the crowd as I'm playing my music, and he told me flat out, "You would kill it in radio." And I did not want to do it. I swear. I looked at that man in his eyes. His name is Jack Spade. I looked at Jack and said, "Nah, I'm good." And he said, "Man, just do me a favor. Come to the station. You know, anytime you feel like it. But I want to show you around." And my first day there doing his show, he made it like he had an emergency and left. Put me on the microphone, and that was it for me. Like I said, once I like something, and if I really like it, then I'm hooked and I'm on. And then it's off to the races for me. So I had to learn how to do radio as well. Like, once again, these are the things, DJing and radio, I pretty much had to teach myself. Even down to the production. I borrowed the program and I went home, and every weekend I was just on a microphone, on a board, and I was learning new stuff. I mean, so like that, you know, it's these things that the person I am, I never thought this would be who I was going to be until it was too late.
A lot of drive. And so when you do the type of equipment has probably changed over the years.
Yes, it has.
So what was the equipment that you started out using? Because in my mind, like, I mean, you
Crates
and I both
of
talk
records.
I DJ'd
nice.
too. That's where Kaoss and I talk a lot about this. Is I DJ'd, you know, growing up and had, like, you know, reel-to-reel machine and all that kind of stuff, and love production.
Yeah.
But
Crates of I learned how it first started. I mean, I've been doing this since, 89. I've been DJing since 89.
wow.
So where I am now and how the technology, and even down to the speakers, it seems like everything's getting smaller, but more powerful. You know, back in the day, it would take you 3 or 4 or 5 men just to set your stuff up. I had 20 crates of records towards the end of the transformation into digital, and it would take 30 minutes just to bring my music in. And so when I rolled up to a gig, I got like 5 or 6 dudes with me. And when it's time to break down, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, technology with the laptop, and now them same crates of records, and then some, I hold in the palm of my hand. Never in the, but me DJing back then, if somebody would have told me, Kaoss, one day you'll be DJing on a laptop, and all your music will be on this thing called a hard drive. You know what I mean? That's how long I've been DJing. I mean,
That's true.
and I gotta be real with myself. I'm blessed because I've seen DJs that's been in the game longer than, well, before me, that retired or that's been doing it for 4 or 5 years and just could not get on and would sell their stuff. And I'm blessed to be able to say that I've been doing this for decades. You know, most of the time that doesn't happen, and at least not successful.
Yeah. So which one was your favorite? The old way of doing it?
Oh man,
or the
let me
new
tell
way?
you something. If I had to go back to carrying records, I would retire.
That's
I'm
why
being
they
real.
retired.
Yeah, I'm being real with you, and I'll never forget the day that. And okay, so now we're on this Serato, which is digital, but back in 2004, I was still with the other station when one of my label guys says, "Hey man, you might want to start getting this program called Serato, because as of next year we're gonna stop sending CDs and vinyl." And that's how I went on ahead and started. And this is the crazy part, Joe. Every day when I was not on the air or not doing clubs, I was in my studio burning. And when I mean burning is, see that the same program that you're
Yeah,
recording
I
right
know.
now. I'm putting a record on and I'm playing the whole record entirely and then naming it to MP3.
Yeah.
It took me a whole summer to transform my music from vinyl to digital.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
That's, I mean, but if I didn't do that, so by the time everybody caught on to it, I was already on it. So like I had to jump on it.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
You've
good.
been ahead
You
on
got to be
technology.
cutting edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be
Absolutely.
cutting edge.
All right, so let me go over this list now. So we've got DJ, and you've got the radio. What else are we? What else is on
Well,
the list?
I also own my own DJ company as well.
DJ
so,
company. So you're managing other people.
Yes.
You're managing finances.
Mhm.
Where does living like vacation fit into this lifestyle?
It's when I'm home
Uh-huh.
and I'm away from everybody and I'm not entertaining anybody. I've transformed my house to a resort. Literally palm trees, water, banana trees. If you go into my backyard, you would swear, and everybody says it, man, this is a resort. And that's what we were going for. So now we get into the cooking. I love to cook. So every weekend I ask my lady, well, what are we going to do this week? Where are we going to go this week? And we do the food, and we try to make sure the music, incorporates the food. And that's,
I talked about that.
You must have told Joe that trick because he talks about that.
We talk about it. We talk about it. If you got the wrong vibe with your food, it changes the whole thing.
So do you let her pick the music at home, or do you pick the music there too?
Listen, man, I'm going to be real with you. I'm a boss out here in these streets.
Uh-huh.
At home, she's the boss.
She's the CEO.
Yeah, she's the boss.
That's smart.
And so,
She picks it.
she loves the way I cook. I cook more than she does.
Uh-huh.
But when it comes to like the vibe, okay, so I did like the pool and the deck and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But when it came to the palm trees and all that stuff, that was totally her. So like, men, we care about the furniture, TVs, stuff like that, utensils. We don't care about putting pictures on the walls, or at least not me.
Yeah.
But that's her.
That's true.
And I mean, I know nobody can see it. Well, they might be able to because we'll show. But what I mean by this is I can literally look at my home from my phone, and just the backyard alone. Just the backyard alone, man. Like, this is why when I come home, man, I'll give me a nice cold drink, and I'm right out there.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh,
you can show them on the
yeah.
video. I don't know if they
there
can
you
see
go.
it, but
Yeah.
people say
Joe and I were talking about this the other day because we were traveling and
that
we're
right
talking about
there
plant
is
life.
Is how so the backyard I have like the reggae music, the beach music, and I mean for real. And then I have my on the grill or we're doing something inside, but we always make it outside. Just so that I can imagine wherever it is I want to be today. If I want to be, in Spain, if I want to be in Hawaii, if I want to be in the Philippines, like we really and we cook like that.
See? It's a lot of planning. He's a planner.
Well, I will say this, that I do think that when music, whether it's listening just like a casual listening or thinking through it like, sometimes I'll put music on if we're having like a theme night with a certain culture of music. I'll put that type of. I may not understand a word they're saying, but I like the vibe of it.
Makes
It
you
puts
feel
me
like
in,
you're
puts me
there.
in the mindset of that. And a lot of times it's a place I've traveled.
Yeah.
Like I've traveled somewhere, and then it gets me in that mood. But I always fall back to reggae because I just like reggae music.
Yeah.
So, what is your, obviously, DJing, and what I find fascinating about you is that you have stuck with DJing, even though you're on the air, the radio station. You were the DJ before the radio guy.
Yes.
And, there's a lot of DJs that are on air people that have been successful. Somebody like Ludacris,
Yeah.
who was a DJ.
And
And then he went on the air, and then obviously after that he became a superstar.
Yes.
But for you, where do you get like the inspiration for all the different mixes? I mean, that was always my struggle whenever, a lot of DJs, I mean, it's almost like if you go to a wedding, they have the same music mix at every wedding. Like
Yes.
oh, here comes the, the slide, electric slide. Here
Right.
comes the, whatever. It's like it's the same thing every
Yeah.
time. But with your DJ mixes are always different. And then you're not just doing a mix at a wedding once a weekend. You're doing a different mix every day on the radio.
Yes.
And you do it at what time of the day?
I do it, noon with Jane Doso from noon to 1, and then 5 to 6 p.m.
So you're doing two mixes
a day.
And
through
you do
Friday.
those at what time during the day? You do
I'm
them in
up
the morning?
I
Okay.
get up I'm in my studio by 7:30, no later than 8 o'clock every morning before I come to the station.
And how do you do that? Like, how do you get your brain to engage, to get creative like that? Because there's a ton of creativity to get that to sound, because the songs have to flow, right?
Yes,
so
exactly.
how do you...
But transition is everything to me. All I would say with that is it's a lot of time. I mean, I've spent a lot of time doing this, so now it's like putting on your shoes. It's like tying your shoes. But I'm big on preparation. So what I do is I'll set my crates up the day before.
Okay.
So before I leave today, I'll have my laptop up and I'll throw songs in. Not every song will make it to the mix that day, but I'll say tomorrow I'm going to do a reggae mix. So I'm going to throw this many songs up here, and then once I hit record and I'm at home, then there's process of elimination. It's which out of these. Okay, so for the listeners who don't really understand what a mix show is, I'll have an hour, but out of the hour, you have commercials. So really, your mix is maybe 20, 25 minutes. I try to make sure, even if I load up a crate of 20 songs, I might play maybe 16 out of those 20. So it's 8 songs aside, right?
Okay.
I want to try to play the best songs out of those that I'm going to get. So some songs, yesterday I said, oh, this would be perfect. When I get to mixing, I'm going to go ahead and move that to maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I'll add on. Okay, now I have 2 songs that didn't make it on this mix. Now I'm going to add that along and sandwich it with some other stuff. That is how I get creative. Or I'll say, maybe I'll throw in a Michael Jackson acapella doing this right here, over this hip-hop beat right here, because I think that's going to sound good over like a Notorious B.I.G. beat or something like that. And in my mind, if I hear it enough, I know what it's going to sound like once it's time.
It's an artwork,
Yes,
Chaos.
it's
I mean, not everybody, and I that's what I think is really neat about what you do is it is a form of art that you create constantly.
Yes.
But your brain and your ear have already it's a movement to you almost, right?
Yes.
Man, I mean, you're working, but everyone else is enjoying what you're doing. You're putting people in that living like vacation mode.
That's
when you
it.
do
That's
right.
that's the when you get to meet people that listen to you and they say they listen to you every day. To me, that makes me now want to go even harder the next day.
Sure.
Like our prime example, my lady's birthday is tomorrow. I'm in the mall shopping. People spotting me and talking to me just about some of the stuff I said or did yesterday. And I'm like, oh man, he's like, hey man, me and my wife listen to you every single day. So what does that do to me? Like, well, damn, if they listen every day, I want to make sure every day is different.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Every day I want to make sure, just like you say, every wedding is the same. I don't want anybody to listen to me and say, oh man, I already know he's going to do this, he's going to do that.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we grew up you know, in the age of hip hop, we're very lucky because, you know, somebody 50 years from now is not going to be able to say that. They're not going to be able to say what you've done, which is worked and grown up through the age of hip hop and DJ through it. Like, how has it changed and where do you think it's going?
Honest opinion?
Yeah.
This music these days is horrible.
Ooh.
Whoa!
You heard it right here. You heard it right here.
But me, the job I hold and the product that I'm now serving, because I'm not, they're making the music. This is what I have to work with now. So this is, you know, but if you have my honest opinion, no. I grew up, you know, in the hip hop era where every artist looked different, sounded different. Everything was different. Now it's like everybody, and I'm crazy for saying this, but to me it's like everybody pretty much sounds the same.
Well, you know,
and it's the same message.
It does seem like that there are genres that are sliding out. Like for a while there was like, we called it the mumble rap. I don't know if that was really what it was called or not. But you know, there's like different types of hip hop now where, you know, when growing up it was just like rap music. Yes. I mean, there was like, you know, and there was but I do see what you're saying is it just felt like, you know, an artist would come out and it was completely different.
Yeah, they wanted to be, because that's how you stand out. Now everybody's wearing the same chains. I mean, they just look the same. Well, back in the day when you knew Wu-Tang, Busta Rhymes, Das Effects, everybody looked different. Redman, Method. I mean, I could go on and on. Even down to the R&B. Okay, R&B to me is dead now. Back in the day with hip hop, you had R&B singers on doing the hooks. Now the rapper wants to be the singer and the rapper. I mean, they've killed R&B.
One of the things I have noticed though, my daughter and I kind of joke around about it because, you know, she's obviously 10 years old, so she's getting into it now, which is fun to watch. You know, it's fun but it seems like every type of music, even down to even country music now, has a hip hop artist mixed into the song.
Yeah.
It's like it used to just be the song. Now all the music, it seems like it's kind of merging together a little bit.
Hip hop is, like I always said, it was huge. Just a lot of people didn't believe in it and thought it was, this is just a phase. It's a phase. It's gonna go away. I remember my first album I ever bought with my own money was the Run DMC album. You know, and you know, I had to hide it from my parents, and you know, I mean,
I did too, but my dad's a preacher.
But seeing that, and I remember those days, the Houdini, all that stuff. It's a fad. It's gonna go away. And now, even with country, I mean, country artists are rapping now.
They are.
Yeah,
they are.
It's mixing. We have Nelly coming here doing a concert with the country.
Yeah. Well, that's because Nelly says he's now a full-fledged country artist now. I mean, but you know, his hip hop career, his rap career has been over with. So
sure.
For him to move that way, I get it. I mean, you might have a chance at this on this side.
Yeah, he might.
Because with hip hop, he's tried to come back. And one thing I'll tell you about hip hop, they'll support you until they don't support you anymore.
That's true.
And once you're gone, you're gone. It's no. Lil Wayne is now realizing it himself. Nicki Minaj is now she's trying to fight. But I'm sorry, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, they got you, baby. Yeah. You know, it's like once you've had your time, it's like, I don't want to get off track with music, but it's like comedians. To me, everybody has like a 10-year span, and in that 10 years, you better go crazy. Like Kevin Hart, you better go crazy right now. But it's the same thing with hip hop.
Yeah. I
mean, Ludacris, he was hip hop, and now he's a movie star.
Do you think it's like? Do you think that's just the way it is in entertainment anyway? Though
it's like sports.
I think sports is the same way. Man, the only person who won't go away is Tom Brady.
Well, that's true.
Jay-Z is still around.
He's still around.
But Jay-Z's got what did he just? They just said he just set the history for having top 10 record in the 1990s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and now the 2020s.
Yeah, I will say,
Jay-Z, if you're listening, congratulations.
Yes,
that's quite a record.
And I will tell you this: I watched a commercial recently, and it was Beyonce and Jay-Z doing the De Beers Diamonds.
Yeah. They were Tiffany.
Tiffany made Tiffany.
Yeah. They're the face. The Carters are the face of the Tiffany.
And it was a great commercial. I didn't know what it was at first.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think that there are these artists that are getting. But I wonder where the young artists, like, what are they going to do? How is it? Because it seems like for a while things will get real settled, and then somebody will just explode out of the gate in music, and I wonder how that will.
Right now in the hip hop world, right now it's Little Baby. Little Baby has definitely, and he's another one who did not really want to be a rapper.
Huh.
If
Okay.
it wasn't for Young Thug and stuff, putting him on, he's another one. But now he knows he's got it. I mean, he's taking off right now.
Yeah.
And these artists now. Name your biggest rapper back in the day that you liked.
Oh, there's so many.
I started with Young MC, by the way, on the first.
Young
album.
MC.
MC,
That was
like
my
Young
first-
MC.
One
okay.
of my first favorites.
Young
Yeah.
MC back in the day when he had that bust a move. Was
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
Hit when he did a show, he might have gotten 7,000. These artists nowadays are getting 200,000 to 400,000
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
dollars. You hear me?
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Do you hear what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Young MC didn't have a jet that
No.
quickly.
No.
These guys
Oh,
are.
so-
First hit, and they got that flying in private jets and.
Yeah, yeah.
They're living like vacation.
They are immediately on vacation.
Yeah.
It's a rocket ship.
So the music game has changed, but it's changed. Like now, it's really about money. I don't care. Me, I do concerts. I mean, obviously, I do shows where I'll bring an artist, I'll pay for the artist, get the venue, charge, and that's how you make your money off of that. But it's got to be off the ticket sales. But these artists that are coming out now, if they got one radio hit, they're starting at 25,000. That's no catalog. You got one damn song.
Well,
25,000.
you've booked artists before for
Oh, yeah.
things downtown Newbern, and you see what
We try to get them right when we know that first song is coming out, and we try to book them right before, and they hit it big all summer, and that we've already locked in the price.
Yeah,
For that reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
For
it.
that reason.
Well, so we've talked a little bit about where the music industry is, which is fun because you have so much knowledge about it. You also have a DJ business. Now, what's the name of that again?
Total Kaoss Productions.
Total Kaoss Productions.
Yes.
And every time I listen to it, it's Captain Save a Club.
Yeah.
Which is now, is that a website or what exactly is that?
Now we talking about Total Kaoss Productions, or we talking about Captain Saver?
I don't know what it is. You got to explain it to us.
I knew once I was on the other station and I knew where I was going and how many people were trying to book me. I knew that I needed to start something that I can be more places than once. Mm-hmm. So I ended up starting that Total Kaoss Productions company. Took some DJs under my wing that could DJ but didn't know the business side.
Gotcha.
And train them. So because if you're going out for me, then you gotta represent me the right way. So once I train them and teach them the business, I send them out. You tell me your price, Joe. This is my price. I'm gonna make sure you get your money. But when somebody comes to book me, then I gotta make sure my price is in there so that I'm getting mine as well.
Yep.
Right.
So you're getting yours, I'm getting mine.
Mm-hmm.
But I can go on and I can do like Total Kaoss Production. We do weddings, we do Marine Corps balls, Navy balls, we do college homecomings, we do high school proms, Christmas balls. We clubs. Yeah, we do clubs, but I mean, we make so much money that has nothing to do with clubs and bars. I represent the clubs. So when Total Kaoss Productions goes out, it's not really for the clubs. It's for sound and lights, for concerts, stuff like that. Okay, but that's why I'm saying there's me and then there's my company. Now Captain Saver Club comes in when I was getting these buildings, these clubs that weren't making any money. And my job, I never wanted to do I want to be at the club where everybody's going. No, give me the club in the night that nobody's there. And that way we all know when it's all said and done who's really putting them in the seat, who's putting them asses in the seats. Nobody ever called. I was called that once again. Both these names.
Captain Save a Club.
Captain
Save a Club.
Yeah,
I love the name.
I mean, but that was back 2000, maybe 5 when I got that name. 2003. It was that name has been with me for a long time.
It's like that restaurant show where the guy goes in and he saves the restaurant.
Got a show here.
Save a club. That's
going to lead right into my next question.
Yes.
The next, and we know what you think about the future of the hip hop industry and DJing now. But what about your future, the next 5-10 years? What do you think? Where are you going to?
I'm glad you asked that. Right now, I'm trying to wind down because my lady says I'm doing too much.
Oh yeah.
Even when I don't have to. So I'm trying to find a way to live like I'm on vacation more, not just one day. I need to find a way to give myself a few days out of the month, besides just Sunday, where I can actually enjoy myself and really live like I'm on vacation. So my DJs that I have around me, they already know that eventually I'm gonna bow out of that nightlife, but I still, my brand will go on because I've built it up to that. My name, people know my name before they really know who I am physically.
Sure.
So now it's have the right people around you, know exactly this is how my business is modeled. It's like anybody that owns a restaurant. I'm pretty sure they were in the kitchen first and learning their food and their product. It's the same thing. I had to learn how to tweak my business, things I will not do, places we will not, cover as far as just. This is who we are as a company. Yeah. And I need everybody that's on board that even when I'm not around, my model. This is exactly how it's going to be. Because if I get a phone call, your DJ didn't do this or they did this, then they know that they're going to have to answer for that.
That's right.
So stepping back a little, I like it.
Well, the thing is, I think the thing is, it's a natural progression, just like we've talked about progressing in our careers in the radio business, is that you begin to, as you know more, then you have the ability to take that knowledge and use it to build other people up, and then you're still there.
Yeah.
But that you're there in a different way, and it frees your time up, so that way you have more live like vacation time. But Ben, I think that being aware of that probably is important. It seems like you're doing that already with the way you've got your home set up and place at the beach and things like that. And
yes.
Well, we'd like to take a minute and thank our sponsors. First of all, the Curtis Media Group, home of 101.9 KISS FM.
I'd also like to thank DJ Save a Club. If you got an empty club and a cooler full of booze, call DJ Save a Club. They'll fill the place up.
Captain Save a Club is the man.
Sorry, Captain Save a Club. Captain Save. I love that.
And we want to remind our listeners that we are now emceeing events.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so hit us up if you need us to MC or host a party or gathering. That's something that Gary and I are beginning to do. So we did have some people reach out to us last week. So I was excited about that. So thank you, DJ Kaoss, for spending some time with us today.
My pleasure.
And thank you for listening. Let's live like vacation.